and we're alive. We're alive.
Great.
Welcome everybody to the top 10 games that we're looking forward to of 2025.
Welcome. I'm Alex. I'm excited to play video games in the year 2025.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I should probably do?
What's that?
There we go. Nothing. I took care of it. I had the list on another screen, but I'm recording the screen, so I'd have had to toggle over and ruin the entire list. So I
just spoil it. The worst top 10 video of all time.
Oh no!
Immediately spoiled.
Yeah. All right. Well, today we're going to list our top 10 games that we're looking forward to. And spoiler alert, the last two have tied. What we did was we each gave each other lists and we ranked them. And then I did some Excel math to get the sum of them. And here we have a list of what we think are the most exciting games for the year. Feel free to disagree, agree, hate us, but just leave it in the comments so we can read it.
No, I'm fueled by your hate.
Yeah, that gives Alex.
The more you hate me, the more power I have. Yeah, and if you enjoyed the list, stay after. We're going to talk about like our individual picks that we picked before this and chit chat about that for a little bit.
Yeah. So if you think that one got slighted, it might be on somebody's list. It just didn't make the cut. So stay tuned for the end. And then while you're doing that, also make sure you subscribe and like the video and
yada.
Yeah.
The most enthusiastic YouTuber.
Yeah. If you want.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, you ready to hop right into it?
Yeah, we're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. But yeah, let's hop into it, dude. Spencer's in control. He has the list. I'm just here for the ride.
Strap in.
I got a strap in and a strap on. Let's go.
Hold on, we should introduce it like a professional YouTuber, kind of like where they waste your time before the list.
Okay.
2025 is going to be one heck of a year. There's a lot of great games coming out and a lot that I can't wait for, and I'm sure you can't wait for either, Alex.
My wife left me, so I'm excited to play more video games this year because I'll have more free time on my hands.
Speaking of games to play when your wife leaves you, Alex, these are the top 10 games that we can't wait for 2025. Also, keep in mind that we're releasing this after January, so any game that came out of January is immediately disqualified.
Yeah, we're just for all transparency, we're recording this on January 25th.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Sorry, Ease. All right, let's keep going. All right, number 10. This one should shock you. This might be the only really shocking game on this list, but number 10 is Star Wars Jedi Power Battles.
Sorry, I was getting shocked. Shocked over here. Power. Yeah, I saw they had a re-release of Power Battle. Okay, that was definitely not on my list.
I loved this game back in the day. This was one of my favorite PS1 games. It's a co-op. Have you played it before?
No.
Okay. So Jedi Power Battles is basically episode 1 of Star Wars. But you play it only as the Jedi. And it's like an action RPG that's isometric. And it has co-op. Like you can level them up and shit.
I thought it was like a fighting game or something. I never played this.
No, it's phenomenal, and it has like it has RPG elements, it has platforming elements. It's incredible.
Is it similar to like the episode 3 game? Because I did play that one.
No. So there were like it's weird. There were the like the Star Wars games, like the ones that were like the movie, and then there was this. And this was made by, I don't even know who made it. I didn't look it up. I didn't care. But this is like just the Jedi fights. It's and nothing else. Like there's no there's no other people in it. And so you take your character and you level them up, and like they get new lightsaber abilities and they get new power-ups and they get all this stuff, and you level up their stats and everything. And it's co-op. And I'm pretty sure it had 4-player co-op, but I only did it with 2 players. but it was phenomenal. And whoops, I left this thing. I didn't put on repeat because I'm screwed up.
What was it on? What like original platform was it?
PS1, and I
Oh,
think
okay.
they made one for GBA, but don't quote me on that. Or Game Boy. I think it was GBA, but really like I was so shocked that this came out because I thought people had just forgotten about it and nobody really cared that much. I loved it, and some of my friends that I talked about, they mentioned that they loved this game, and I was like, how come nobody talked about it like for 20 years or however long it took for. Yeah.
That's been an awesome trend recently. Is that like games from this generation that you wouldn't think would get remastered have been like all the Star Wars games, which I bought all of. I think Aspire does all those, and I
Mm.
bought all those fucking remasters because they're. I mean, I love Star Wars, so yeah, I'm sure I'll play an old Star Wars game. So, and there's just like a lot of the stuff from like the PS1, N64, and like PS2 era stuff that's getting remastered now.
Yeah.
Uh, it's very cool. So, I mean, I'll probably check this out because I am a Star Wars fan.
I'm hoping that it's like, not a lot of money. And you're right, it is Aspire. I'm hoping that it's not a lot of money.
$20 probably, right?
I would hope
$20.
so.
Yes.
Because I'm looking at the trailer here, it still looks kind of like shit. But, and I hope that they fix it. It was a little bit janky. I'll say that it was a little janky, but otherwise, what a fantastic game. All right, you ready for number 9?
Number 9.
There you go. You'll have to do those.
Mighty number 9.
Number 9 is Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves.
Woo! Yeah,
and you'll have to talk about this one.
This was a me pick for sure. If you've been on this channel for a long time, you know that I love SNK and all their dumb properties. And this is the first Fatal Fury game since the 90s. They've had, King of Fighters fighting games, and they did like a Samurai Showdown reboot. But this is the first time they've given any attention to this franchise. And it's cool to see another like a classic fighting game IP get revived. The art style in this game looks like phenomenal. It looks different than the King of Fighters art style, which I was worried when they announced this. I was worried it was just going to be King of Fighters, which I bought the last one, which was like 15. I was worried it was just going to be that, but chopped down. But no, it has like original artwork, and the characters look different, and the gameplay looks. I mean, not that unique because it's still like a 2D fighting game, but it looks different enough to like set it apart. And yeah, I'm just super excited to have this franchise back. I'm a big fan. So
Wow, it does look really pretty.
yeah. The cool like almost weirdly cell shaded look to it. It's like it has a cool art style. That's all I can say. Like if you haven't seen it, just go watch a trailer or watch this trailer.
Yeah, it's like cell shaded but still 3D looking. It's very pretty. And
Yeah.
I liked one of the girls that I saw in there. She was very pretty as well. How much experience do you have with Fatal Fury?
A lot. I love Fatal Fury. The last Fatal Fury game was on Dreamcast. It was Garou: Mark of the Wolves, and it was like it was a great game, but it was also like in an era of fighting games where they were like bringing in the new generation, So like I had like a whole new cast of characters except for Terry Bogard, and they were all. It was just a neat game, but like that's the last time we ever got to like after that generation of consoles, like SNK kind of sort of tanked, right? So it's like the only thing they would do was King of Fighters, but like it seems like recently they were open to do more stuff. Like I said, they did Samurai Showdown. They recently did like 3 different Metal Slug projects, like a tactics game and a mobile game and stuff. And then and now they're doing this. So yeah, I'm just excited. This one I'll probably not all these games I put on my list I'm gonna buy day one, but this one probably will be a day one purchase. Just because like if you like fighting games, like they're worth it because you get a lot of playtime out of them.
Yeah.
It's especially with fighting games, it's nice to be there day one, with like the community and like with like the hype. So
sure. Cool. Look forward to Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves.
City of the Wolves.
All right. We promise that the rest of these will be a little more mainstream. So
yeah.
All right. Number 8.
Number 8.
Elden Ring, Night Rain.
Ooh, is this another DLC or is this a sequel?
This is a sequel, like a new one.
Oh, okay.
Elden Ring, obviously a Souls game, probably the most popular Souls game ever made. Um, it's Dark Souls but open world. This one in particular is interesting because it brings in some more like parkour elements to the series, which wasn't really in Elden Ring. Um, and its multiplayer is somehow more bizarre than previous previous like Souls games multiplayer. They're pretty
How, how does that work?
they're pretty famous for being like really clunky with multiplayer. This one I think removes some of the clunkiness, but also it's either you play it single player or you play it with 3 people. Those are your options.
Why?
But entirely cooperative. Like you don't have to do summoning or anything. You just but yeah, it's either 1 or 3. You take your pick.
They love those odd numbers, I guess.
Yeah. So if you got 2 pals, this is the game for you. But otherwise, it looks great. Other things too. People have mentioned that a lot of the bosses that they were showing are bosses from other Souls games, including Bloodborne.
Oh
So it's
wow,
like it's almost like people are looking at it like some kind of boss rush type
they can
game.
do that. They can pull from Bloodborne. I thought Sony owned that IP.
I don't know. That's what they're saying, or maybe the mechanics look like it, but that's kind of what they're hinting at.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. Maybe it'll be like an exclusive to that console or something, kind of like back in the day, like Soul Calibur. But
Oh, yeah.
and didn't Sony try to buy them?
I
By
don't know. Did they from?
FromSoft? I thought they were trying to. I don't know if they did, but I know they mentioned it. So we'll see on that. But I mean, otherwise, it's just Elden Ring. I know you're still waiting to play the first Elden Ring, so you should
I'm
totally play
I'm
it.
I'm one step closer because I have a PS5 now, and I feel like that'd be the best way to experience it. So like, I might take the plunge soon
Yeah, I recommend it. It's great.
and play it. You said it has like parkour stuff. That reminds me a lot of Sekiro, which I know you didn't play.
Mm.
'Cause Sekiro had like a lot of like ninja parkour. And I like parkour, but like you had like a grapple hook and you could climb, like swing across things, and grapple like different buildings and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, huh. Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Number 7.
Number 7.
Turok Origins.
Woo! This was at the top of my list. We're getting a new Turok game. That's exciting, right? I
Yeah.
mean, there have been attempts to bring Turok back since the N64 days, and they've been unsuccessful. There was like Turok Origins, no, sorry, not Origins, but Turok Evolution on the PS2 and GameCube and stuff, and it was not great. And then they did like a reboot game on 360 and PS3 just called Turok, and it was fine, but it wasn't anything special. It actually had like a planned sequel that was scrapped. So like since then, we've just kind of been like twiddling our thumbs, and we've sort of seen like Turok in the not like the mainstream, but like in the light a little bit because of those like remasters that have come out of like the first 3 games and stuff. So like I feel like it's helped people like go back and experience those games again. So just the fact that like we're actually getting some sort of a new Turok game is both exciting and also scary because they have fucked up rebooting this franchise twice now. Or like not rebooting, but just like bringing it back in some way twice now. So uh, if this one doesn't work, I don't see another Turok happening for another 10 years.
Yeah. Um I'm not the biggest Turok fan. Um but like I only really remember the N64 ones.
Yeah,
And I liked them okay, but never really got into it too much. And then yeah, I remember like they had some, was it Xbox 360? And
yeah.
that didn't seem to go anywhere. And did they do one after that? They did, right?
No,
That was it.
no,
Okay.
the 360 one was the last one. They had one on PS2 and Xbox. Game.
Okay. Okay.
And then they had one on PS3 and 360.
Okay. I remember. I remember. Oh wow, that Turok Origins logo too looks like the N64 one. Um. Yeah, I'd be curious to see because I feel like the N64 one was a little bit different than this, but maybe maybe my memory is failing me.
Well, they also haven't showed off that much of the Origins yet, right? So I'm just kind of excited to see like what they do with it because the original, since they are leaning into like that logo and that style of the original games were like um the they were like first person shooters, yeah, but they were also like first person exploration games, and a lot of the team that worked at Iguana that made those games left to join Retro and like made Metroid Prime and stuff.
Mm.
So it's like those early N64 games were sort of like the predecessors to Metroid Prime in some way, like in some spiritual way, you know. Um, so I'm curious to see if Origins is just going to go straight to like being a first person shooter, or if they're going to have more of those elements of like exploration and platforming and stuff.
Hmm. Okay. Hopefully, I mean, graphically it looks good. Uh, but I guess every game now looks good, especially if you're comparing it to the last game you remember, which for me was on the N64.
Yeah, I
Wow,
mean
this
even
looks
on
real good.
even even the one on the 360 PS3 was like looked like a game from 2008 too. It was like brown and murky.
Yeah.
And like there was screen tearing every cutscene because it was running on probably some Unreal Engine or something. It
Gotcha, gotcha.
was from that era.
All right, number 6,
Number 6,
Ghost of Yotai.
Ghost of Yodi.
Or as we call it, Ghost of Yodi because Alex misspelled it in this thing.
I misspelled it on my list as Ghost of Yodi, so we're gonna call it Ghost of Yodi.
I actually prefer the name Ghost of Yodi. This is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima. I'm surprised this is on your list, Spencer.
I really want to get into it. I can't stand. Not can't stand. That's not a really nice way to say it. I am so uninterested in Asian culture. It's like samurai, ninja, all that shit. I have like zero interest in it. But I do love the what the game is. I like the idea of that. And so I've never played Ghost of Tsushima. Every time I'm like about like, you know what? I should give it a try. I'm like I think about like the Asian music and like the petals falling, I'm sure, and the huts and the hats, and I'm just like, no. Like I'm like 30 hours, 30 hours of that. But I really want to get into it because I know it's really, really good. Everyone tells me it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I was about to say that it is phenomenal. Yeah, Tsushima was, and honestly, I mean, even though it came out, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago at this point, I don't know how long it's been. Um, Even then, I still think Tsushima is like one of the prettiest games I've ever seen. Like visually, it looks like that's one of those games that like yeah, it's like open world and you can fast travel, but a lot of time in that game, I didn't even want to fast travel because I'm just like appreciating the world around me, and
Wow.
like exploring and stuff. It was cool. Um, I loved the first game a lot. Um, it was very based in like that style, and especially like samurai movies and stuff. In fact, you could even turn on like a cinematic mode and make it look like an old black and white samurai movie. Um, but the gameplay was great. The combat was fantastic. I liked the story a lot, and I also be for like an open world game. I complain a lot about open world games being too like task driven,
Hmm.
but just how like natural that world felt. The fact that like there's you can open a map and like the markers, but usually you can find objectives by just exploring and noticing things around you, or so sometimes you're exploring and you'll come across like a Mongol base, and then it's just like then I spend the next hour trying to infiltrate and take out this Mongol base just because I want to. I want to free these people that are like trapped in there and stuff. I don't know.
Hmm.
It's just it felt great, and that's not something I usually say about those kind of open world games. So if they can do that again with the PS5 hardware, like I'm not even that invested. I haven't even looked at the story for this because I just want to experience it. But if they can do that again, but just better with the PS5 hardware, that's all I really need.
I think the concept of like open world games has been so mismanaged and so poorly handled. And I know we shit on them a lot, so I apologize. But Ubisoft, I was playing Far Cry 6 with a friend, and it's an open world game, but when you have a quest, there's literally like a line on the ground that will just tell you where to go for the quest. And I think that's so like antithetical to the point of an open world game is to have one path to follow to get there.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre to me that because clearly those kinds of games have sold to the point where they will keep making them. And so people are like, yeah, I want an open world, and then I want you to tell me exactly where to go in the open world.
What do I do?
Yeah. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But obviously Elden Ring also did really well and doesn't have any of that shit. So something's working. I don't know. There's some weird dichotomy there.
Yeah, Tsushima, if you wanted to, you could place a. You don't have to do this, but you could place a marker like, okay, I want to go to this point in the map. And then if you like touch the PS4 touchpad, the wind will just blow, and then it's just blowing it in the direction that your marker says.
See, that's clever. I like that.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool because like it doesn't take away from the experience, you know. And it's just like if I just forget what direction I need to head in to like get to where I wanted to go, I just swipe it, and it's like where the wind blows, and the leaves, you know, when the trees blow, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going that way.
Yeah,
you know.
Elden Ring does something similar. You go on the map and you can place a waypoint, like place a point there of interest, and then if you're in the game, you can just see like a long blue light just shining from wherever you placed it. Good in concept, and it works generally. But by the end of the game, if you haven't been deleting your post, you have like 5 of them just shooting up out of the sky. Like, where?
So yeah, I agree. Like Ubisoft, I think has single-handedly destroyed open world games as just a genre. But I still enjoy them, and like from time to time, one comes around, and I'm like, yeah, this is genuinely great. You know, so that's why I'm excited for Ghost of Yodi. I'm excited to have more of that, and you know, also just like there's not a lot of PlayStation exclusives I care about right now, so this is probably the one.
Yeah, I don't think there are any on this list either because I don't think any of them are planned for this year besides this one. This is the PlayStation game.
Yeah,
not a good sign, really.
I'm telling you, man, they are tanking over there.
Well, we'll see. Maybe this game will sell very well. Maybe. All right.
5?
Number 5. This one may be a surprise to you.
Number 5.
Number 5. Fable.
Whoa! We both had this one then.
Okay.
Fable.
You're a big Fable guy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I have hated every Fable that I've played. So this one is high on my list. It actually isn't that high on my list. Now I'm looking at it. Oh, no. It is high on my list. Okay. It's kind of like half of it is morbid curiosity. Because the character that they showed off is so ugly. I'm assuming they're going to make that not your character. But the dream of Fable is phenomenal. I love like the idea of Fable. Its execution, in my opinion, has always been abysmal at best. At worst, I think it is some of the worst gameplay that I've ever played in my life. Alex, you like Fable, so I'm going to let you take it from here.
Go ahead. Peter Molyneux is far away from this project.
Is he?
So, yeah, no, Lionhead's dead, and Peter Molyneux is gone. This is being done by the team that makes the Forza Horizon games.
That doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
I know. That's why it's at the bottom of my list. Visually, it's going to be beautiful because that's what they do. All those Forza games are fucking great looking. But yeah, I'm not. They haven't showed any gameplay or anything, so I'm not entirely sold yet that they can do it. The car people can do it. Um, but there have been teams that have been known to jump around. I think back in the day, like I think it was Criterion made like Dead Space and some racing games and like Dante's Inferno. So like they jumped around and were pretty decent at that.
Okay.
So I have faith that they could do something. Honestly, with the way that the Fable franchise fizzled out, anything's better than where they left off. So, um, I like Fable because even though they weren't the greatest RPGs of all time or anything, they were like quirky little, I don't know, fun games. They almost had like, I wouldn't say like a rare sense of humor, but like that British sense of humor,
Yeah.
to the characters in the world.
Yeah.
And like the first two, I thought were just like generally fun action games. I didn't see them as RPGs. I saw them more as like Zelda games, like 3D Zelda games or something, with like a more of a comedy angle. Um, so I don't know. I'm just curious what they're gonna do with it. It's at the very bottom of my list because I I don't have faith in it, but I want to see what happens, and if it's good, yay. If it's bad, I'm still curious and I'll probably still play it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be on Game Pass, I'm assuming, right? It's
Yo,
actually.
yeah, definitely. It will be on Game Pass, so that's how I will be playing
Oh,
it.
that's yeah, me too. So like, at least I can try it. I'll give it the old college try.
That's the best thing about all the Microsoft exclusives. Like you and I played the vampire, what the game is called, Red something.
Yeah.
The hell was that game called? Red. What the fuck was that game?
Um,
Redfall. Redfall. There it
Redfall.
is.
Okay, yeah.
We played Redfall, and like I would never have bought that game. I didn't think it was very good, but like I got to play it because it was on Game Pass.
I think I liked it more than you did. I I, I thought it was pretty good. Got shat on, but that's its own story, I suppose. But yeah, I think so. That's funny that we both have Fable, and they're more out of curiosity than anything else. And it got
Yeah,
to number 5.
it's been on my list like the last past few years because we haven't
Mm.
had like an official date, and we still don't have an official release date. But it's just they say it's coming this year, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right. Number 4. This is a big maybe, but number 4, Metroid Prime 4.
Oh man, a lot of mixed feelings about this one. Uh, Number 4 with Metroid Prime 4. How fitting. Um, this was announced in 2017 on a direct for the Switch. It's been in such a development hell that we're still here, and we're almost at a new Switch. And I have a feeling, that they're going to be like, here's the Switch 2, here's the launch title, it's Metroid Prime 4. And that's what's going to push people to buy this damn Switch 2, which I'm not excited for. But I am excited for the game, though. The game itself. Big Metroid fan. And I love the Prime trilogy, so hoping it's good.
Yeah, I think you're a bigger Metroid fan than I am, but in doing this show, we've done a couple of the Metroid games, and I've thought they were great, but I've never actually beaten a Metroid Prime game. So I think we talked about doing Metroid Prime on the Switch, as one of the games either coming this year or soon. So I'm excited for that. But if not that, then I'll dip my toes into this one and see if I like it. I can't imagine I wouldn't. It looks like quite an adventure. I'm almost like intimidated by it, but
Yeah.
I think I would still do it. Yeah.
I mean, it's basically Prime's great, and that's why I think maybe they had some issues with development because the Prime trilogy is great because it's basically like, hey, what if you just played a Metroid game in first person?
Hmm.
It's like, oh, okay, that's it. It's like what the series is. It's awesome. So I mean, you liked you beat Dread, right? You like Dread,
Hmm. Yeah.
so you handled that. That was the last one I did.
Yeah, in third person or in first person, I'm a little bit. That's the part that's like intimidating. But I think once I get over that, I'll be fine.
Mm.
Because
I mean, it's just
yeah, I just know I get
sorry.
lost. I get lost in these games.
Oh yeah, you know what? You know what's weird? The first Prime, and well, I guess all the Primes, but I think back to the first Prime. It has a 3D map that's
Mm,
really good. It's like surprisingly good, especially from a game on the GameCube.
mm.
It's like, how did they manage to make a 3D map work in that kind of game? And they did.
I love that in this game they had to build around the fact that the C stick sucks, so they just had like that lock on system. That's it's clever, but it's also just funny that it's like
Yeah,
Nintendo's like we need Retro made this right
yeah.
Retro. They're like we need a Metroid Prime that's a first person shooter. Like the C stick sucks. So they're like figure it out. Like this is the GameCube controller we made. Okay.
Deal with it. And I'm glad they went that route too because I played not many, but I played a couple FPS games on GameCube. They're rough. Play with that C stick. Like I played Time Splitters 3 on the GameCube. Woof. Yeah, trying to play it on the C stick is not fun.
I played that on the PS2, so I can't fathom playing that on the GameCube.
Yeah. But even like I think around the Wii, they did like well, of course, Prime 3 was on the Wii, but they did like a trilogy release that they integrated the pointer controls for 1 and 2. And to this day, I still prefer the GameCube controls just because that's like what I'm. It's like the same thing with Pikmin. That's just like what I'm used to. It's just like what I would start using it to, with the first title. So it's like what I prefer.
Mhm.
So even if Prime 4 has some sort of pointer esque, I don't know how they're gonna do it because the pointer controls suck on Switch. But if they have some kind of pointer esque, control scheme you can use, I'll probably just go back to whatever. I don't know. I mean, they have dual analog sticks. I don't know why they wouldn't do dual analog control now, but I would love if they just gave you the shitty game controls again. Just use that.
That would be interesting to do like 3 different ways you can control it. It's
They
like,
do that with Pikmin.
oh, okay.
Yeah, Pikmin 3 and 4 both have that because like they're like by that point they had done them on a GameCube and Wii and then Wii U. So it's like you pick how you want to play it, man.
I like that. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we're at number 3.
Or like number P. Sorry, I have that whole comedy in
Monster Hunter Wilds.
there. Is this gonna be out? Hold on, when does this episode air? Hold on, let me look. Okay, this episode airs on the 8th, so the game. I don't think Wilds will be out yet. So Wilds is coming out. This is.
Yeah. You're more of a Monster Hunter guy, so tell me about it.
I don't know anything about Wilds. I'm gonna put that out there. I have learned. I learned it was coming, and I learned the name, and I saw like I think a trailer, and I was like, yeah, I'll play that. I have actively avoided anything, and to be honest, I haven't played that much Monster Hunter in the last year or so. Not that I don't love the series, I just kind of took a break from it. So I'm excited that there's a new game, and I'm also excited just to play more Monster Hunter because it's like I think I go through phases where I just play nothing but Monster Hunter, and then I get off of it for a year or two, and then I go back to it.
Mm.
So this is coming at like a perfect time where I'm like, yeah, I'll play more Monster Hunter. They're like, you're the
Well,
game.
well, Alex, my intention was that you would tell us about Monster Hunter, what the series is, what fans can expect.
Oh,
From.
people know what it is. You hunt monsters. What do you need to know? You go and you hunt the monsters, and then you kill them, and then you get the stuff from the monsters, and
Thank
then you
you.
make weapons and armor, and then you hunt more monsters. That's
There
it.
you go. Just trying to
That is the game.
just trying to do a podcast is all. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Well, people don't know what Monster Hunter is. I didn't know. Well, I didn't know that's what you were asking. I thought you were asking me about this game specifically, which I know nothing about.
I can tell you a little more about this one. I played the demo because I wasn't entirely sold on it. Because I did play Monster Hunter Rise, and I didn't like it. But I think it was the weapon I chose that I was just like they encouraged me to pick that weapon, my friends, and it was the large instrument, and it just did not click at all. And I was like, well, this is what they think I should use, and it didn't work. Maybe I just don't like this game. But then I was playing the demo with it because it was like free. I was like, whatever, I'll try it with my friend, and he was like, yeah, just pick every weapon and just cycle through them and see if you like them.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I landed pretty quickly on I think it's called the light bow gun, and I loved it. I was like, oh, I can just go from a distance and just try to get numbers and yada yada yada, just shoot. And I had such a blast with it. So yeah, I'm excited for it, and I got a party to play it with, and I'm not gonna say it'll be my favorite game ever. I mean, I'm hoping it will be. That'd be great if I got a new favorite game ever. But I'm excited to play it, have fun with my friends, and basically experience the series with a fresh set of eyes. It's almost like
Yeah.
it's almost like Elden Ring for me, where I had some friends try to get me to play Dark Souls 3, and it was like a nightmare playing with them because they just like ran through it, and I was like, hey, I'm here too. And then I just said, you know what, I'm gonna play Elden Ring because I'm excited, I'm interested, and that like reawakened it for me, and got me to see it all like from fresh eyes. So hopefully that'll be this for me, and I'm excited. Looks fun.
The beauty of Monster Hunter for me is also the grind. It's all about the grind in Monster Hunter because it's like you don't just kill one monster and then you're like, okay, moving on. It's like I remember whenever Monster Hunter World came out, my sister was watching me play, and I fought the same. I forgot what the monster was. It was like a T-Rex looking thing. I fought the same monster like I fought it like 10 times in a row, and she kept coming in and watching me play. She was like, "I think I've seen you fight this thing like I don't know how many times now." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to get some armor." And she's like, "Doesn't it get tiring like fighting the same monster?" And I was like, "Not really." I was like, because like I still have to be tactical and like figure out how I'm gonna take this thing down each time, even though it's the same monster. You know, it's like that's kind of the fun of Monster Hunter. It's like and each time I would get a little better at killing this thing. I would figure out what what I need to do to like take it down quicker. Um, and yeah, so like to me, it's like that's what I'm excited for. Is to like not get Monster Hunter Wilds and play it nonstop, but to get Monster Hunter Wilds and play it on occasion for like 3 years. Just pop in, grind, pop out.
Yeah. Um, I just realized something. Is I'll have to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this episode.
What's that?
Um, I've been okay. So I've been looking at this through an Excel, and I should have known this because I work with Excel somewhat a lot. Um, but I've been reading the number on the left as the number of the entry, but the number on the left is +1 because the first row is the headers. First row says games. So everyone, this is actually the set number 2, and number 1 is the one I'm about to read. So everyone I've listed has been +1 because I listed this as the third the third one. It's actually the second,
Yeah.
and this is going to be number 1. So I'll just put a disclaimer at the beginning that all these are shifted 1.
I'm so lost now.
Yeah. Which actually means
So what do we need to go back and cover though?
we actually have one more to cover. So we'll call it the one that should have been in it but wasn't
The one that got away.
Yeah, the one that got away. Before we hit number 1. Before we hit number 1, we have the one that got away, which is, and I think you'll be happy about this, Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yeah. Doom. I'm very excited for this game because I love Doom and it's Doom. They did a Xbox developer direct like 2 days ago or something. Which, by the way, if you've ever watched and experienced an Xbox developer direct, it's something to witness because it's the most sterile, non-human form of delivering what your game is that I've ever seen. Anyway, so they own Bethesda now, so they're showing off some Bethesda stuff, and this is the big Bethesda game that they're working on, of course, is Doom. Very excited. I loved Doom 2016 to pieces, and I thought it was great. If it had it captured all the energy and motion of a classic Doom, but with a new style. And it was like a fresh breath of fresh air for like an FPS, game. Didn't play as much of Eternal. I did play some of it on Game Pass. Actually, I don't actually own Eternal. I should probably buy that at some point. And I did like it, but it just it felt like more Doom 2016, which was fine. I just at the time I had other games I was playing, so it was just like, okay. Um, so yeah, again, and that was like 20. I think they came out in 2020 because it came out alongside Animal Crossing, which was funny. During the pandemic.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute, 5 years. So I'm excited to jump back in and kill some more demons. I like the art style and the aesthetic of this game a lot, and I'm hoping they can expand upon the gameplay that the first two games have.
Yeah. I wasn't super. I'm not really into Doom. It's a little too violent for me, and I'm not usually into like super active shooters. But I will say that I've been playing a game on Game Pass with a friend called RoboQuest, and I'm kind of hooked. And it's kind of like Doom-esque, although it's a roguelike, but it's very like a fast-paced shooter. And so I don't want to say that I'm like super excited for this, but it did make my list of like, okay, well, if I like that, maybe there's something to this Doom series.
This Doom thing.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
there's something to it.
the beauty of Doom, which I don't think any other franchise has really replicated, is like the power trip, right?
Mhm.
It's like when you play Doom, even though like you're the lone survivor on, in the first game, you're the lone survivor on Mars and demons are flooding in and you're doomed, right? Um, you don't feel like you're the underdog, like you're the last survivor. You feel like you're a god and your sole purpose is just annihilate everything in your path. And that's like the beauty of Doom
Hmm.
is I don't think a lot of other games make you feel that way while you're playing it, and it's just like an adrenaline rush. It's so fun. So I'm welcome to anything Doom related being released.
Okay. Do you know if these games are always just single player, right?
I think Eternal had well, no, they both had multiplayer, but I think I know 2016 was like deathmatch.
Right.
I don't know. I think Eternal had some other multiplayer stuff. I never experienced it, so I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, these games are always more palatable to me when they're like co-op. But either way, it'll be on Game Pass, so it couldn't
Yep,
hurt to whip it out and give it a try. Which
there you go.
is what I told to the prostitute.
Whip out your Doom and stick it in the Dark Ages, dude.
Yeah. Stick it in the dark ages. Well,
Dark Ages.
our number one pick, which is actually tied with Monster Hunter. I meant to make that a big thing, but I forgot, and because I listed as number 3. But our number one pick should be no surprise to anybody that knows us. Um,
Ease.
yeah, it's ease.
Ease
Uh,
25. The story of the sad girl or whatever. I don't know what they're on.
the story of the sad girl is like the most.
This is the story of a girl.
Is a Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, or theoretically, I mean, you have to say this with Kojima. Theoretically, this is a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Spencer, did you know that I give my life not for honor, but for you,
Oh,
the
thank you.
snake eater? In my time, there'll be no one else. I love that song, man.
It's so good. It's
um,
so good.
I mean, it's a remake of arguably one of the best games of all time, right?
Yeah.
So it's like how are you not excited? I mean, unless you just straight up hate like stealth games or Metal Gear Solid games or whatever. How are you not excited for this?
Well,
The only thing I could think is that it's Konami. But
that's yeah.
here's the thing: I haven't played it. I want to. It's on my list of things to buy. It just came out. It's expensive, but the Silent Hill 2 remake that came out people liked it a lot.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It did very.
So that
Yeah.
that gives me faith.
I almost okay. This is gonna sound a little bit blasphemous.
Yeah,
So bear with me on this. I'm going to assume Kojima has nothing to do with this game.
he doesn't. He has not. He is far gone now.
Right.
He is over in the studio. He's doing Death Stranding too, and I think he's working on some game for Xbox.
Part of me is like, good. Good because this to me means it's going to be more of just a straight up remake of 3. Like, we have a great game, let's just remake it for modern consoles. Bingo. Phenomenal. I fear that if Kojima were to make this game, he'd be like, let's make a game that parodies the idea of doing remakes in the future. And I'm like, no, please no. He's just like, this is gonna be yeah.
It'd be Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that style of game.
Well, yeah, it'd be this, but something like a completely different gameplay, a completely different.
Yeah, it'd be like by the end, Snake's in like a simulation or something. And stuck
Yeah.
in a simulation. It's like Groundhog Day or something, and he's like stuck in the simulation of the same events. I don't know. Some stupid.
It's
It'd be
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, it'd be Metal Gear Solid 2, and then you fight at in New York with like the sword. Here's my hopes for this because they also haven't shown off much. Yeah, I'm with you. I just want Metal Gear Solid 3 in all of its glory, but I want the techniques and stuff that the team. I'm guessing this is going to be some of the team that worked on 5 that they learned in 5.
Yes.
Because the thing with 5, while the story was garbage, the gameplay was amazing.
Right.
So it's like that's all you got to do. It's just merge the two.
Yeah. Oh my god. I could not tell you. I mean, I could tell you. You and I are probably in the same boat. Just how excited we are for this. This would be like a private, I guess, game of the year contender for us. I imagine it won't be game of the year for most people, but for us, this is probably like.
Oh yeah.
If as long as this delivers on the promise, it's game of the year.
We'll see by the end of the year, but yeah, we could end up with like the same game of the year.
Yeah, which would be
if it turns out good.
It'd be weird for us.
Yeah,
because like in most realms, like our gaming tastes are almost like polar opposite. Like they're very very far apart. But then for some reason, like Metal Gear Solid, they kind of just like align for some reason.
Well, it's like it's weird enough and it's like cinematic enough and different. I don't know, man. It's just there's nothing else like it.
Right.
And what was funny was that for a couple of years I kept hearing rumors like, oh, Konami's remaking Metal Gear Solid. I'm going to remake Metal Gear Solid. And then finally they were like, nope, we're doing 3. And I was like, oh, they know exactly what they're doing. They're like, they're like, we're in dire straits. What's the most popular one?
Yeah. Well, do you think Metal Gear Solid 3 is more popular than 1?
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's held in higher regard. I don't know if it's more popular though.
I think it's more popular among the fans. I think in terms of like the zeitgeist, like pop culture, I think the first game is seen as like the not the best, but it's seen as like it's the game that's it's like the original or whatever. It's kind of like Resident Evil. Like there's like people. I don't know that one may be different, but it's kind of like I see a lot of in pop culture and like this. I guess it's like Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
But really it's 4. Like 4 is the one.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same way here. It's like 3 is the one. It's like that's the one everyone loves.
I would not be opposed to Metal Gear Solid 1 remake because I think that game is really good too.
Yeah.
And then 4.
No.
Bring it to a place where I can like easily play it.
Yeah, just make it playable.
Yeah.
I think they should. I mean, okay, so they had that, which I got you the thing, the master collection, whatever it's called,
Yeah.
and they called it one. They called it volume one, right?
Right. Right.
Like, so that leads me to believe that they're going to do that. Like maybe they'll bring four and like portable ops and Peace Walker or something.
And then
You
that the slasher game.
know, yeah, I guess. Is that canon? Is that does that matter? I guess.
Dude, that's
Whatever.
so
Sure.
far beyond where I was paying
Re-
attention to Metal Gear Solid that I.
yeah. Revengeance is. I mean, it's fine. But I was thinking just of like the Kojima stuff,
Mhm.
because like I don't think they should bring five because you can already play five, pretty easily. But four and then the two PSP games I think would be a good like second volume
Yeah.
of that way. And I'm talking portable ops and Peace Walker, not Acid and Acid 2. Leave those. But portable ops and Peace.
No, I want those.
No, me too, but I don't want them in that collection. I want them in their own collection. I want like the weirdo collection. The freak collection with all the freaks.
You know what they should do? Acid 3 and then just package 1 and 2 with it.
There you go. Yeah.
Like as a special
that's
edition or
good.
something. I'd pay $10 for
Yeah.
both of those on the Switch or something.
Yeah. Just make it, and like Acid 3 doesn't even need to be like a really expensive game either. It could be like a $30 game. Be like, we made Acid
Make it
3.
good. I'll pay full price for it if it's good. I remember
make
liking
it
it.
good, but but I'm saying the budget doesn't need to be huge.
Yeah.
Because like the kind of games that like the Acid games are, like you can do that. You can make it cheap.
Yeah.
Make it a budget title, but it can still be good though.
And spoiler alert for those watching, we do intend to release Metal Gear Solid content this year. And I know we've already done the game or the map out for one. One is still on the table. Like one that is that may still make a comeback of some sort. So
yeah,
we love Metal Gear Solid. So.
It's probably going to be a thing this year, and I don't think Delta has a release date, does it? So
I don't think officially.
So who knows? Who knows what we'll end up doing this year with this franchise?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's our list of the top 10 games that seemed somewhat out of order because I screwed up the numbers.
Okay, can you just relist them with them in the right order so people know?
All right, in the right order. Number 10, Doom: The Dark Ages. Number 9, Star Wars Episode 1: Jedi Power Battles. Number 8, Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves. Number 7, Elden Ring: Night Reign. Number 6, Turok: Origin. Number 5, Ghosts of Yodi. Number 4, Fable. Number 3, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And we ended with 1 and 2 as a tiebreaker. I just picked them in the order that I have them here. But theoretically, number 2 is Monster Hunter Wilds. And number 1, Metal Gear Solid 3, or Delta in this case.
Delta. Yeah. Cool. I think it's a good list. But we are just gonna chat for a minute because I kind of want to like go over like what we picked individually before that list, before the official list.
Mm-hmm.
We can kind of go through and because I think there's still a few other games that like I'm excited for that I feel like I should get to mention. So I guess I'll just scroll down mine then. It's like some of them we already mentioned.
Well, hold on. I'm
so
trying to get it. I'm trying to let me get this real quick. I think I can do this and it not be that distracting.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I have the spreadsheet up.
Okay.
Okay, so Alex's list, let me sort it from Z to A. Okay. I have yours sorted from Z to A for you. And it's just the most versus the least. Go ahead.
It's just the one I had in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So from least excited to most excited on my list that I gave to Spencer, it was Fable, which we talked about. GTA 6, which I'm surprised did not make our list.
It was my number 20. It was my least interested game.
I'm excited. I like the GTA games. I was very excited for 5 when it came out, but that was like 2013. So it's been goddamn 12 years. I'm excited, but I'm also afraid because I'm excited because it's a new GTA game and I love all the previous games, but I'm also scared because since GTA 5, what I love about GTA and what other people love about GTA has shifted drastically. What I love about GTA is the stories and the single player adventure game, like the open world games and stuff. What other people love about GTA is the online component.
Yeah.
So I'm terrified that GTA 6 is just going to be an online thing, and that's not what I want. I would like it to be more like 5, where that it has a campaign and then it has an online thing separate, so that I can still enjoy the campaign and the story. Because GTA 5 has like a pretty fantastic like campaign and like set of characters and stuff, and it's very good. So I'm hoping they still follow in that path and are faithful to like GTA games of old,
Mhm.
like having that style. But I'm worried because we haven't had any single player content since the release of 5. It's all been on, the online side of things. So,
Yeah, I have friends that are really into. I have a friend that literally he's a PC only gamer, with the exception of GTA. Um, he will be buying an Xbox because he doesn't play Sony products. I don't know. He's just retarded. I don't know. But he's like, I will only buy an Xbox, um, so I can play GTA when it comes out. He won't even wait the year for it to come out on PC. He is just going to buy a console so we can play one game, and it's GTA 6. I don't get it. Um, I don't love this series. I liked San Andreas. I didn't like 4. I thought it was, I don't know. I just didn't like it.
where's
5,
Conky?
yeah, it was. 5, I also didn't really care about. I played it like probably for a couple hours, and then I just felt the excitement for me just slowly draining as it was like, all right, go get my. I think it was like, get my car and take it to get cleaned or something like that. I'm sure because I hit somebody or did something. I don't remember. And I just slowly felt like my urge to play just dropped to nothing. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just run around, like drive around. And then the cops found me. And then it's like, all right, I think I'm done. I think for me, like open world games have to not be a world that I know. Like
Okay.
I can't really do modern open world. They just don't, they lack appeal to me.
Okay.
But I mean, they're great games. There's no doubt I mean, they're clearly very, very good games. I'm curious to see what it like, because I think all GTA games push the industry forward, which I do
Oh, Rockstar
appreciate.
games because the last one was the Red Dead 2.
You know, Red Dead 2, I think it has a lot of interesting things in it, and I think it theoretically pushed it, but I don't know that a lot of games like took that and ran with it. I think a lot of those just like stayed with Red Dead Redemption 2. Like I remember like everyone's like, you can do something to this guy and then like come back and like 20 hours later and there will be an effect of what you did to that guy or something. And it's like that's cool in theory. Um but like to me it didn't really change the game like as an experience for me. And I don't know that other games were like, yeah, I'm going to do that too. Like I don't think I don't know. It was a technical marvel. Red Dead
Yeah,
Redemption
beautiful
2.
game.
Beautiful. I just don't know that it like other games took from it, really.
That's true. That's true.
But
And,
yeah, I'd be
and
curious.
it is sort of an event. Also, that's also part of why I'm like so excited because like it's an event whenever Rockstar just releases something now.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
you know I'm there for it. I'm there for the hype. I'm not one of those cranky people that are like, "Ooh, like modern, like modern open world game." I'm like, no, I'm excited to see what Rockstar cooked up.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right, going on the rest of my list. I only have one more that didn't make it on our list, so I'll only stop for that one. After GTA 6 was Doom: The Dark Ages. Then after that was Ghost of Yodi. And then the next one was one that didn't make it. Death Stranding 2. You're talking about getting Kojima away from Metal Gear Solid Delta. Here's where he is. And this one I'm also very excited for, but also scared because I've heard there's been some development issues with this game. So I doubt it's going to come out this year. So it's wishful thinking at this point, um, because I I know that there's been like horror stories of the development of this game, but I'm excited because I really liked Death Stranding. I played it recently, and I thought it was pretty different. And it was a game that only Kojima could make. Um, and from the trailers for two, like since this is why I went back and played Death Stranding 1, because I saw the trailers for 2, and the trailers for Death Stranding 2, he's like traveling the world. Norman Reedus, whatever his character's name is, I forgot. He's traveling the world, and he has like a live puppet guy hanging from his waist, and then he animates in 30 frames a second, and he looks stop motion. And then there's like a guy that shows up in like a ninja, like cybernetic ninja thing, and he has an electric guitar that shoots lightning, and he fights him. And I was like, "What the fuck am I watching?" And I was like, "Okay, I have to get onto this." So that's why I went back and played the first Death Stranding, which doesn't get that crazy. But I was like, okay, I dig this. So now I'm excited for Death Stranding 2 on two fronts, like for the gameplay aspect, because like I want to see how he can expand the first game's stuff. And also just I want to know what the hell's going on. Like that's some crazy Metal Gear Solid 4 shit I was watching. I was like, all right, I'm in. So that's why I made it.
Yeah, Death Stranding represents the side of Kojima that I don't really get behind. To me, there has to be a kernel of a game I'd like to play somewhere in it, and Death Stranding just does not have any of that with me. But Metal Gear Solid, that's definitely. I like his craziness, but when paired with a game that I would enjoy, and I just can. I remember my girlfriend playing Death Stranding only because Norman Reedus was in it, and just her getting so frustrated and just being confused by it. And at one point, she's like, "Help me with this. Like, what do you do? How do you build this like car out of these blocks or whatever?" And I'm like, if this were like any other game, I could probably sit down and like help you. But this is a Kojima game, and I've stepped in it after like 5 hours. You're on your own. You're on your own.
I I like the first game because it's like when you explain it to somebody, it sounds like the worst game ever. It's like, oh, you play as a package delivery man during the apocalypse, and you have to deliver stuff to different cities. But there's also like ghosts that'll try to stop you, and then yeah, so you can't get caught by the ghosts. And sometimes you have to build stuff for other people that other players. And if you like leave a ladder, another player can find your ladder and use it and stuff. And it's like, what are you talking about? It's like,
Yeah.
but like when you play it, like I don't know. There's just this to me. It's like the fun of the game is the journey of like, okay, I have this cargo. I need to get to this other city, and like I need to figure out like plan my route, figure out how I need to get there, what tools I'm going to need to get there, like and try to survive my entire trip. It's very unique, and it was very polarizing. I remember too when it came out because
Mhm.
like all the trailers leading up to it, people were so excited because they thought it was just going to be Metal Gear Solid again, and then it was Walking Simulator. So
Yeah,
I'm
I don't.
excited to see what two is.
I'm sure if I really dug into it and played it, I would find something there. Um, but I have so many games to play, and I can't. It's kind of like Ghost of Tsushima, where it's like I could dip my toes into this. I could try it, but like for 30 hours or however
Yeah, but
long that
why?
game is, I'm like, do I want to be like on hour 20 and I'm like walking and I'm like just kind of like looking around, like, yep, we're en route, making good time. And I'm like, Final Fantasy Rebirth is kind of just sitting there like on my shelf. I'm like just staring at it like in the corner of my eye. I'm just, Norman tripped. All right, let's pick him back up and let's set up the ladder. I'm like, oh my god. I just
Yeah.
know that's gonna
Um,
happen. Anyway.
but that's the only other one that wasn't on the list. The other ones from there was Metal Gear Solid Delta, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Monster Hunter Wilds, Prime 4, and Turok Origin. So that was my full list.
And you wanted me to rank yours? And how? Rate
Rate
it?
mine.
How do you want me to
Yeah,
rate
rate
it? Like by what crate?
Go
Like
go through. I don't know. Go through each game and rate it.
out of what? Like what?
Uh, how many Spencers in Spencerville do you give this? No, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. How about that?
Your list?
Yeah.
A thumbs up? Literally just that?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Spencer approved or Spencer does not approve? I won't make you do a Spencer to Spencerville today.
I think I would have to give it, and this is not okay. I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
Ah!
But I actually do like a lot of the games that you have listed on here. It's just that there aren't very many RPGs on it.
Fable.
And I prefer those. Yeah, Fable, if it is going to be an RPG.
You could probably get an RPG in Doom and in Turok.
Yes, you can theoretically get an RPG there. Fable, I'm still on the fence if it's going to be an RPG because, like you said, a lot of them don't really play that much like RPGs. But the games you do have on here, even for some reason, Turok, I don't know. Watching the trailer, I was kind of like, this looks kind of cool. They are cool games, and even Fatal Fury, where I guarantee you I will never play, but just graphically, it looks nice. Like it looks very pretty. I almost want to give it a thumbs up because you're only giving me the option of up or down. So I'm kind of limited to what I can do here. But like Elden Ring isn't on it. I'm like a little lost.
I didn't play. I didn't play the first Elden Ring. Why would I play the second one?
I don't know. You like Souls games? I assumed it would be.
I know, but like, why would I? I'll probably play the first one first, even after the second one comes out. I'll probably still play the first one first.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. I just wish if it were my list, which obviously I have a list, it would have more RPGs on it. So I guess I give it a thumbs down. But I do like a lot of the games that are on it.
Speaking of your list, give me your list, and we be talking about the ones that weren't on the main list.
Okay, so full disclosure, the assignment was pick 20 games.
I forgot.
Alex picked 10. That's why mine.
I thought it was 10.
That's why mine has 20 on it. So because the point was we were going to add them together, and some of mine were not going to be on his, and vice versa. So I wanted more than 10 so we could have a better total. But mine is starting from the bottom. Grand Theft Auto 6, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Some of these are on here because I wanted to get to 20, and I literally just
I was like, why that one? That's literally like a Japanese Assassin's Creed, right? It's like two things you hate.
I think so. I literally just said, an Assassin's Creed, and I'll put it on, and it'll be at the bottom of the list.
Do you think that's going to be the one that sells you on the Assassin's Creed?
No. Heavens no. Heavens no. Doom, The Dark Ages. Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma.
I know there's a new Rune Factory game this year.
Yeah. I liked like the third one way back in the day. I've tried to play other ones and I just couldn't get into them. But I don't know. It's at the bottom of the list. Maybe if something's cool. Double Dragon Revive.
If I had done the 20, this would have been on mine. This was almost in the 10. Yeah.
I was gonna say only because I think we could probably play this as like a button mappers game.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Of course, I love beat 'em ups, and also I'm a fan of the Double Dragon. I mean, I talked about Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons like last year, which was the last one they did. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to be playing this, but it's just it feels like such a smaller game. I didn't put it on my list because it's like realistically, like if I had to choose between Double Dragon Revive or any of the other 10 games on my list, it's like probably gonna get more out of the other 10 games.
Gotcha. Pokemon Legends Z to A.
Yeah.
Pokemon's
Is that
kind of dead
happening?
to me, but
Dude,
maybe.
they haven't shown anything for that game.
Yeah.
I I'm not,
It's just.
I'm not even convinced it's real.
I mean, it's just gonna be like the other Pokemon Legends, I assume.
Arceus. Well, and you liked Arceus, right? So
It's fine. It wasn't. It had its problems.
Arceus. Do you think they'll take, because to me Arceus felt like they were like did Arceus and then they did Scarlet and Violet, which I also didn't play. I didn't play either one of those. But to me, it felt like they did Arceus and then they took stuff they learned to Scarlet and Violet, and then they took stuff. So, do you think they're going to take stuff from Scarlet and Violet into this?
I sure hope
You think
not.
Really, it started with Sword and Shield with the stuff they learned from. I think like the DLC area is a Sword and Shield, So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm optimistic, but pessimistic, I suppose, as well. Ghosts of Yodi. Yeah, this is low on my list, but because I had points in it, I think it made it in. Just because I had 20.
Yodi Bear.
Yodi Bear. 2XKO, which is actually pronounced double knockout, but I refuse to say that. That's Riot's fighting game. It's done by the people that did the Dragon Ball fighting games.
Oh, so it's by
I think.
Damn it. Arc System Works. Yeah.
I think so, and I might be wrong on that, and then I'll get yelled at. But JD really likes it, and I'm excited because I like to see what Riot does. I think they're a cool company. I think they deliver. I have no interest in fighting games, but if they can do something cool in another space, that's cool. 13 is a weird one. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I've always wanted to play the first one. It just never got around to it. But apparently it's like The Witcher, but if the main character is like retarded.
Dude, I've almost bought the first one like 500 times.
Yeah.
It's always on sale. So it's always one of those games that I'll put into like a cart and I'll be like, oh, I'll pick this up. And then like I end up buying some other stuff and I'm like, all right, I'm taking that one out. And then that happens again and again and again.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently your character's just an idiot at the beginning of the game, which is really funny. And I like that because like it is like character growth, like an RPG. But your character is like what a zero intellect would be, as your character's just a moron.
I should just do that, but like you're a baby,
Yeah, I mean that's what Fable should be. Is you start out as a baby.
Yeah,
and you get little baby horns and everything. Number 12 or number 11, I should say, is Metroid Prime 4. All right, my top 10. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam.
Never played a Professor Layton game. They look pretty though, and I know they're supposed to be pretty good. They're like by level 5, right? So
yeah,
I would play it.
I somehow have 2 level 5 games on my list. I don't. That's weird because they haven't been around my list in like the past 10 years. Number 9 is Phantom Brave: The Lost Hero.
What?
It's a JRPG tactics RPG.
What?
Anyway, keep going. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunan Unification Wars. How about that for a title?
Get Square Enix on the phone. We have a new record.
Yeah. Yeah, moving on.
Not enough fractions in that title, though. I gotta say that.
I mean, technically, this would be a Konami game, also.
Suikoden? It's a Konami series?
Yeah.
I never played a Suikoden game. I guess it's a good place to start, right? If it's 1 and 2 HD, remastered Gate of Ruin and Dunan, something.
Rudy Duty.
Yeah, Rudy Duty, feeling fruity.
Yeah. Honestly, I've tried to play Suikoden games before, and I think they kind of suck. But apparently, 2 is really, really good. So that's the story. My number 7 is Fantasy Life I don't know why it's called that. The Girl Who Steals Time, which is funny because you made a joke about
the girl who cries.
The girl who cries. This one steals time. Doesn't cry, but she steals time. I hated the first Fantasy Life, but I'm curious what they do with it going forward. This is also level 5.
I never played it. That was level 5. Oh, I guess that makes sense. It was 3DS, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never played Fantasy Life.
Yeah. My number 6 is Borderlands 4.
This almost made mine. This one was close.
I just have friends that I know would play it, so I'm down to play that multiplayer.
I like they're fun. The Borderlands games are fun, you know, they're just good fun. So like
the characters
I'm not
don't
like
shut up, but they are fun.
yeah, they don't shut up. That's true. And some of them are they're very annoying, and like sometimes I just wanted to crawling through the screen and strangle them. But the gameplay's a lot of fun. Like I even liked the Tiny Tina game that came out a few years ago. I bought that when it came out.
Oh, we should play that together sometime. I
Yeah.
bought that because a friend of mine said he wanted to play it, and then he never played it with me.
It's good. It's fun. It's like
Yeah.
it's got some fun like quirky elements too, where it's supposed to be like a tabletop game, you know.
Yeah, I got through the beginning of it, and he was like, "Get through the intro, and we'll start playing." I was like, "Okay, I'm through it." And he's like, "Yeah, we're not playing anymore."
Did you ever get to the overworld?
I don't know. I don't think so.
There's like an RPG-esque overworld with random battles, like random encounters.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's very fun. So like I like that one a lot. Of course, I like the previous Borderlands game. So like, you know, Borderlands 4 was more of a given for me. It's not not like I'm like, yeah, Borderlands 4, but it's more like they're gonna release it and I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, yep, that's under my belt.
My number 5 is Jedi Power Battles. You can tell I'm excited for that.
I can tell.
Number 4 is Fable. That's right, number 4. I don't know how it made it that high. I'm just really curious about that. Number 3 is Monster Hunter Wilds. Number 2 is Elden Ring Night Rain. And number 1 is Metal Gear Solid Delta.
The fact that Monster Hunter and Fable made it that far up your list is mind-boggling.
It is. It is. When I was putting this together, I did not expect those to be as high as they are. I said, wow, I can't believe I'm actually excited for these.
Yeah.
That's the list.
Okay. I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
There's a lot of JRPG.
I don't know a lot of those games. And I'm probably not going to play them.
I wouldn't.
But there's a few I would play them. Like Double Dragon. Broader ones. And of course the ones we listed. I did want to give a shout out to a game that is coming out this year that I'm not excited for, but I will play. That game is House of the Dead 2 remake. I talked about House of the Dead remake on this channel.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, and I hated it. And I thought it was a mistake, and they should stop, and Forever Entertainment should stop remaking Sega games. And then Spencer did the honors during that episode to tell me that they've already gotten the go-ahead to House of the Dead 2.
Yeah.
So that comes out this year, and it hurts even more because House of the Dead 2 is a game that I love. So I'm gonna play it, but I know that Forever Entertainment is just gonna shit all over my childhood. So I'm ready.
Shit on me, baby.
Shit on me.
Shit on me.
I can't stop him from making the game, so I might as well, right? If you can't beat him, join him. Yeah. You know, there's some exciting stuff coming out. You know, again, not all the games we talked about are probably going to come out this year. Probably not even half of them.
Yeah.
But still, I think we might be looking at a better year than last year for just games. Last year sucked. there was not a lot going on last year.
What came out last year? Was Helldivers was last year, right?
Yeah, Helldivers was. I like that one. Game of the year was Astrobot.
That's a bad sign.
Should make me happy because it's a platformer and it's a lot of fun. It's a great game. But it doesn't make me happy because I know it only got Game of the Year because there was no other contenders. So it was it. What you gotta do? Fucking Dragon Age, the gay one, the gay game.
The gay game.
I forgot the Veilguard. That's what I did. Dragon Age Veilguard is that what you're gonna put as game of the year? No, no. So
Yeah.
you know, it was rough. So I'm hoping we have a better year this year. We'll see about the. Who knows? Game of the year could swing around this year, and we're both complaining again.
If Metal Gear Solid Delta comes out, I probably won't even remember these other games that are on this list.
Yeah, that's
I'll
true.
probably just be like, it was a
unless
great
it's
year.
unless it's just like a wet fart of a game.
Yeah, which I don't foresee that happening because I feel like they're just gonna do a pretty like a port with really good graphics and gameplay. But yeah, other than that, as long as it's good, I'm sure I'll be a happy camper.
I agree with you there, man. I will be a camper.
Yeah.
And of course, we're the only Nintendo game we talked about was Metroid because that's the only one we know. I'm sure they just showed off their lazy reveal of the Switch 2. I'm sure we'll get like a direct soon, and they'll announce 1,500 games that are coming out for the Switch 2, right? So I'm sure like on that front, I'm sure there's a lot to look forward to. We just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
You know. I all it's funny. I also almost put Xenoblade Chronicles X on my list,
shit.
not because I want to play it, more just I'm just happy that it exists. Like I'm happy it's finally off the Wii U. That's why I play it. So
why do you tie yourself to that? Why is
I don't know, because it's like I think that it's like the final bastion of like, okay, we can get rid of the Wii U now. It's like, because like it's like for years it's been like the only. It's like, but there's one RPG still on the Wii U and you can't play anywhere else. So it's like once that comes out on Switch, it's like, all right, into the landfill they go.
Yeah.
That's it.
I guess that game is overrated. I don't think it's very good. But
I mean,
but you're
sure,
right. It is
but
like the last one that's stuck
yeah.
there.
It's like because for a while it was that and the other one, the SMT one, the game's called. I can never remember.
I
Like Sharp
love that
FE.
game.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
those two were, and then they finally brought Sharp FE over, and then still it was like Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I feel like once that gets released, the Wii U saga can just die. You know what I mean? Like we never have to talk about it again.
Yeah.
We don't have a reason to. It's just done.
Yeah, I think the sooner we wash our hands of that one, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can move into the Switch 2 saga.
All right. Well, what were your top 10 games that you're looking forward to? Terry, don't even answer that.
Is it Jedi Power Battle?
It's probably Jedi Power Battle.
That's the funniest one that was on your list.
I'm telling you, you gotta play it. It's freaking good.
Hey, I'll play it, man. I like Star Wars. I rewatched not episode 1, but I rewatched episode 2 recently. I don't know why though. But I just did. That movie still sucks.
You just see the credits roll. Like, yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. No. What was going on that day was I was playing Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, and I had gotten to episode 2, and I just was playing, and I was like, I don't remember any of this in episode 2. I was like, I need to go back and watch episode 2, and then I turned on to episode 2 on Disney Plus, and I was sitting there watching it. Yeah. Then the credits rolled, and I was like, yep, that was garbage. And that was basically how that day went for me.
I like that at the beginning of it. It starts out like a YouTuber thumbnail. You're like, is episode 2 really that bad? And then the credits roll, and you're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it could be worse. Could be worse than I remembered, actually.
I remember one of the funniest scenes. Like, I think of like who's writing the scene to scene, like who's writing the script, and obviously it's George Lucas, and obviously he's a little older and his brain is failing him. Like that is so clear because there's a scene towards the beginning where I think it might even be like the first scene of the movie. Prince Amidala is Padme, Prince Amidala, whatever, is getting off of her ship, and like an assassin comes and like tries to take her out and takes her out, and then it's revealed that that's like the fake one, and then
Yeah.
the real one is like Padme is like, "Ooh." And Padme's talking to this decoy, and the decoy goes, "I'm sorry, I failed you," and in my brain I'm like, "No, you
That's
died in place
exactly what
where."
you.
That's literally
That
your
was your
job.
job. Yeah, dude. As I was watching that movie, okay, so it wasn't like I wasn't enjoying myself some. As I was watching the movie, it felt like somebody was like flipping the TV channels, right? Because it was like, okay, whenever like Obi-Wan is on like the whatever the brainy planet's called, and he's
Yeah.
checking out the clones and stuff and like investigating, and it's like somebody's doing like somebody ordered these clones and nobody can figure it out. It's like, okay, this is like semi interesting, and it's like, well, obviously Jango Fett's the bad guy because he's like giving off the bad guy vibes. But it's like you're like, okay, I'm kind of interested in this, and then they keep flipping back to fucking Padme and Anakin like doing nothing, and then
Yeah.
it's like, God, this is fucking garbage. And then it's like, I don't think we should be together. Oh, okay. And then Anakin finds out about his mom being sold or whatever, so he goes and kills a bunch of people, and it comes back, and then Padme is like, all right, we can fuck now. And then they find out about Obi-Wan, and then they're not supposed to go to Obi-Wan, and then Padme is like, well, you're my bodyguard, and wherever I go, you go, so we got to go to Obi-Wan. And it's like this was written by a fucking 7-year-old, dude. It's like this is the most garbage romance story I have ever seen in my life.
Okay, but hold on though, because episode 2, there's a scene that leads to my favorite scene in episode 3.
Ooh.
The scene in episode 2 is he's in like he finds his mom, right? And then he kills all the Tusken Raiders because he gets mad at him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in episode 3, there's a scene where Obi-Wan is talking to him and he goes, "Remember what happened with the Tusken Raiders?" And then Anakin like the camera pans to Anakin and he's like looking up. I don't remember what he's doing, looking like an idiot because that's what he does. And he's like looking up, and then there's sounds that go it's so stupid.
I have to do an episode 3 rewatch soon. I just know that one's the longer one, so I was not up for it.
Yeah.
But man, yeah, no, Anakin's got to be one of the worst written fictional characters in history.
Yeah,
God.
what a whoopsies.
Whoopsies.
I
Did
almost
I
wish
do
like
that?
Disney, you know what Disney should have done is just remake the prequels. Because
Yeah.
you take out the fact that they have to like write a lot of story because they have the story in front of them already. So they don't have to fuck that up. All they have to do is tell the story of Darth Vader. I think they actually could have done that well.
I kind of like their approach though of like they still reference the prequels and they even do stuff like the Obi-Wan show, which I did enjoy. It had its own set of problems, but I did enjoy it for the most part. But I kind of like what they do because like even the Obi-Wan show makes no sense in the context of everything else that happens in the storyline. But it was like they paid like fan service to the prequels, but also like if you break it down, it's like the they have another meeting in Obi-Wan, and it's like, oh, it's Obi and Anakin, and I'm like, so it just completely detracts
Yeah.
from what was supposed to be set up in episode 3. It's just, it's so stupid. And again, it also detracts from episode 4 because
Right.
it's like, oh yeah, Obi-Wan had like a little adventure with uh, kid Leia. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, but like that doesn't make any sense now because would she have said something about? I mean, you I guess you knew she knew Obi-Wan, but like
Yeah. Oh,
would
hey,
she be
what's
like,
up? I think hey, you're back.
hey, hey, remember when we went and we saw those Jedi and we fought Darth Vader and remember that? When we saw those no? Okay.
Yeah, like anything. Like some kind of scene where you know that guy. Cuz she like, if I remember correctly in episode 4, like she didn't actually really meet Obi-Wan, right? Like they were on
No,
their
but
own thing.
she sent that message.
That's
So you
true.
know, you're my only hope. So that's how you know that she knows who he is.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, pretty dumb. And I remember what was the one that was like the plans of the Death Star? Like they had the
Oh, Rogue One.
Rogue One
God,
should be
Rogue One was
retitled.
hilarious.
That should be retitled. They couldn't help themselves. That should be the name of that movie. Like
Yeah,
we couldn't help ourselves. They just like put it.
everyone dies. The movie.
They put in
It's,
like the lead up to episode 4, just like scene for scene, so they can just connect right to it. Is like the last.
we have to. Guys, we have to make Tarkin. Tarkin has to be in the movie. We have to
Oh
make like a computer generated Tarkin, guys. Fans are clamoring for his return.
yeah,
What? No one cares.
so bad. So bad.
The only thing I don't like Rogue One. The best thing about Rogue One is that Andor came from that, and Andor's a great show. So I can live with it.
There you
So,
go.
a little glimmer of hope. Oh yeah, we need to end the show, don't we?
Oh, okay. Bye.
We were talking about Star Wars. Bye.